Hello, my name is Faye. I'm a pastry chef, and today I'm going to show you how to roll sweet pastry to line individual tart cases. These are my tips and tricks that I use when we had our patisserie, and I find it to be a fast way, consistently rolled out pastry, and I'm going to talk you through all the equipment that I use to achieve beautiful, sharp tart cases. So I use a pasta machine to roll out the pastry, and the reason for this is that I like even pastry. That helps with the baking as well of the pastry. They will be evenly baked. I use these little tart rings which are perforated. This also helps the baking of the pastry with the air ventilated. I use a small rolling pin, a little paring knife, a little cutter, a metal ruler, a pastry brush. I have a non-slip pâte mat over here so that when I'm rolling out the pastry and cutting it, it doesn't slide. And then to bake the pastry cases, I use an air mat. These are wonderful for baking lots of different types of pastries. So this is what we'll be baking the tart cases on later on. So this is sweet pastry with almond. Now I'm just going to roll the pastry, add a little bit of flour, and what I want to do is flatten it into a square shape like so. Do this a couple of times. A light dusting of flour, and now I'm going to pass it through the pasta machine and roll that through. And as you can see, it's all consistent thickness, and I take one of the tart cases and cut my discs. Remove the excess pastry, and then I'm going to place it on a sheet that I've lined with parchment paper, and put your discs onto the parchment, and now we're going to cut out our strips. So what I've done with those discs, once I'm ready, I actually put them into the freezer so they chill and go hard. Now I've done the same thing with the pastry. I'm going to use the ruler to measure the length of the strips, as you see over here. Just tidying it up. And now I cut the pastry. I'm making it little indents of 2 centimeters. And then you have it. I use my pastry roller to cut. I find this is the easiest and quickest, and it's also very tidy. Now I've frozen everything down, and I'm placing the disc and the strip. If the strip had not been frozen down, it's really soft. And what happens is when you're pushing the pastry back against the tart ring, you will indent it with your finger. I'm now tidying it up and making sure that the seal is firmly sealed, and also that the pastry has been pushed back. And now I'm just removing the excess pastry. And what I will do now is I'll place this into the freezer until they're fully frozen. And when it comes to baking them, I don't fill them with any rice or baking beans. I bake them as they are. So this makes it much quicker and efficient. Now, if you don't push the pastry strip firmly,
what might happen is that the sides will cave in, and you really don't want that to happen. So it's really important to really place. And as you can see over here, there is a slight overlap at the seal. That actually is good. I find that that helps the pastry stay in it doesn't shrink, so it stays in place. And there you have it.